that. Time for some legit or nah. On the eve of the NBA draft lottery, former NBA great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had a hot take on college basketball players using the, quote, one and done rule to get to the NBA. This is what he said. It's a travesty, I think. They're just using the college system as a stepping stone to the NBA, and that's really unfortunate. I think an education is vital to having a good life, and these guys aren't getting that opportunity. It's sad. Clement, legit or not, one-and-dones have made college basketball a travesty.
Wow, that's a strong word when you say making the game a travesty. I'm not necessarily in favor of one-and-dones as it pertains to college basketball. So I would say that's legit. Now, I do understand that if you're a high school player and you're that talented, you should be able to go to the league, but it hurts the college game. So that's why I'm going to say it's legit, because every single year the college basketball fan has to try to get used to some new players. One year is going to be a Karl Anthony Towns. Another year is going to be a Jahlil Okafor. Then it might be a Josh Jackson or Jason Tatum. There's no consistency for the college basketball fan. There's nobody to really root for, nobody to get behind, because every year the top players are going to the NBA, whether it's a Markelle Fultz or whether it's a Ben Simmons. Like, we can't, fall in love with these players. You can't really truly root for a guy because we don't know who the guy is. He came straight out of college, he played 1 year, and then he's gone, and then now we have to go to a whole nother player and root for another guy. The college basketball now is kind of built on coaches, built on a Coach K, built on a Coach Cal, built on,
because they're a consistent factor.
Indeed. I mean, built on a Bill Self and a Coach Roy Williams for North Carolina, because those are really the only people that we know that's been there year in and year out. So I always feel like college basketball, why not go the way of college baseball? You can go professional. If you want to go from high school to the pros, that's cool. But if you want to go to college, then you have to stay in college for at least 3 years. That way, you can get closer to an education. And if an athlete goes to college for 3 years, they are more likely to finish their education. I certainly feel like, not everybody is ready to go. Even if you're ready athletically, maturity-wise, you're not always ready to go from high school to the NBA. So if you implement that rule, then somehow, some way, Adam Silver needs to get with the NCAA, and they need to understand we might need to stop drafting these guys out of high school and try to get them to go to college so they can stay 3 years. That would be better for the college basketball game, which is the subject here, and it allows the NBA more time to evaluate these players. Teams should be able to stick together and say, you know what, we're not necessarily going to draft on potential. Now, certain instances, it's going to be a LeBron James, who was just a beast. I mean, he was ready out of high school. But other than that, stop taking so many chances. And when players start to see they're not getting drafted in the first round, maybe they're getting drafted in the second round, and they don't have guaranteed contracts, they will opt to go to school. And I think that will be better for the college game.
You're skipping that whole learning process, not just education-wise, but playing under a college coach and in a college setting. And I still call my mom and I'm like, Mom, like, what temperature do I iron this dress on? And these kids are going on this big stage in the NBA. And it's interesting. I was reading a quote by Michael Jordan's mom, Dolores, on Mother's Day yesterday. And she was saying, my proudest moment of Michael Jordan wasn't when he became this huge superstar in basketball. It was when he walked away with his college degree. That was her proudest moment. So I think there is a lot to be said about education as well. So interesting take there.